The game, they have dominated almost every round of the game. You break the game down to different segments and different elements of this game, and they have won them all. And I think Nolan would be the first to agree to that. It has been all night long.
Foul his third, Stewart. Barely straight to front rim. He was a 65% free throw shooter last year. Coach Richardson says with his ability to score around the basket and from out around the three-point line, he thinks he has a chance to play at the next level if he continues to improve. He made 1 out of 2 to lead 18 for the Minutemen. 6 minutes left.
This kid's been a quiet performer in terms of being spectacular, but number 14 knows what to do on the floor, knows where to get the ball. Calls a timeout right there. You need a captain. You need a leader. You need somebody that understands.
The General Scholarship Fund at UMass, in the name of Lou Rowe, 28 points, 5 shy of his career high of 33 against Holy Cross last year. 12 rebounds, 3 shy of his career best, 15 against Duquesne also last season, and he has matched or surpassed the duo of Williamson and Thurman tonight.
On the rebounding end as well, and also defensively, what a tremendous job. And I think when your team sees your star player playing on a defensive end, it really, really helps. It's a good steal right there.
Once again, the lead down to 16 as McDaniel stripped Kellogg.
Double team coming. You got to post up to the middle of the floor.
Here on one. Right, the pull-up and finger roll lay-in.
Dante Bride does a great job of finalizing. A lot of people can create a 2-on-1 opportunity, but they can't complete the run.
There it is, the layup. Rowe's 13th rebound. Rowe going coast to coast. And Garrett knocked it out of bounds.
Relo should have given it to the middle of the floor and cut without the basketball. He's going to make some NBA guy a happy guy next year.
And the hustle by Garrett will make Coach Richardson happy. He's in his first game at Arkansas. Had out last year the transfer from the University of New Orleans, and Coach Richardson thinks he'll help to improve the Razorback defense. Brighton goes to the bench with 22 points and 7 rebounds.
He played for Tim Floyd over at the University of New Orleans, who's now at Iowa State, where they got an outstanding front court. Nice play. Excellent cut without the ball by McDaniel. Good drop bounce pass by Dillard.
And the lead back to 16 as we approach 5 minutes remaining here in Springfield, Massachusetts. And a foul by McDaniel. He knocked down Kellogg from behind.
See, Kellogg doesn't possess the speed to blow by you and create numbers, but he gets to certain points on the floor where he knows how to operate. Now he's going to have to make free throws.
Kellogg and Rowe, co-captains of the Minutemen for the 2nd straight year. This is the 3rd year as a starter for Kellogg. I mentioned many in this area at Fushsix about if he could play major college basketball. The only schools that recruited him in Division I were Siena, Fairfield, and UMass, and Fairfield withdrew its scholarship offer, so he came to UMass and has been terrific play.
He's been a steady player. There he is knocking down a free throw. UMass was 25 for 33, shooting 77% on the line. Last year, 63%. What a jump. What would I be without our stat man, Mr. Stamos? What a job he does whenever you come to Massachusetts.
An improvement for Kellogg, who made both free throws. That should be shot only 61% to the line last year. Garrett, high arcing 3.
Garrett trying to earn some PT now, some playing time.
They're chipping away, are the Razorbacks. It's back down to 15, but time is running out. 4:40 remaining. Kellogg fouled by Thurman, his 3rd.
They're playing hard. They're really coming after the basketball, trying to create some tempo. Scotty asked me earlier tonight to say hello to his little son. You ready for this? He says, tell my son I'm saying hello. He's got a 3-month-old son. Do you think he can understand me saying hello to him? I think a lot of adults have a tough time with
well, that is resisting the temptation to say that.
You can't understand Vitalis.
Kellogg makes the first. Of course, his young son, proud when he's old enough to be proud and aware of what his dad has accomplished. One of the accomplishments in May 16th. Scotty Thurman inducted into his high school Hall of Fame in Ruston, Louisiana. Ruston High School that produced football greats like Burt Jones, Fred Dean, and Michael Brooks. Fouls on Kimby.
He retired his jersey there as well. Great honor for a young guy. He was very proud of that. He told me about that tonight.
That's 3 fouls on Kimby, but bear in mind he picked up the first 2 in the first couple of minutes of the game. Spent some time on the bench in the first half. The last Arkansas lead, Dick, was at 6-4.
No Cupcake City for Mass, as we talked about. They played Kansas next, then Pittsburgh, and then Maryland. What a way to start the year. Pittsburgh is an interesting program as you look at Nolan Richardson on that sideline. They'll get them back to the gym and regroup. But interesting program down at Pitt. Ralph Willen, what a job he's doing recruiting. Michael Gill from out of Dunmore will be going to Pittsburgh. Montego Cummings. So there's a lot of new excitement for the future of Pittsburgh in basketball.
Dingle to inbound, 4.5 minutes remaining. And the advantage of having somebody the size of Camby to lob it into against the pressure. Following our game, we'll be taking you live to Madison Square Garden in New York, site of the NIT championship game, New Mexico State versus number 23, Ohio U. And glad to see Gary Trent getting the exposure that he has been lacking the last year or two. The Shack of the Mac in action, trying to win the NIT championship for the Bobcats. Next, that's 9:30 Eastern time or thereabouts.
I thought it was a great win going down to Virginia and winning at Virginia. And Virginia was exposed a little bit, showing some deficiency, especially from the perimeter. They were 4 for 27 from three-point range. I think those are the things that are starting to happen right now. Syracuse, you find out that deficiency shows on a defensive end. Indiana, a little problem on the perimeter. Got a solid front for it. They're going to have to come up with some good perimeter play, some shooting from the outside. Yaron, he looks impressive.
Yes, he does.
Yaron's going to get himself some minutes.
Played 2 years at New Orleans, averaged 11 points per game as a freshman, 10 points per game as a sophomore, that sat out last year as a transfer. He had 35 points in Arkansas's red-white game 2 weeks ago.
It was a scramble, scrambling out of the full court trap. Now they go into man-to-man. Massachusetts could try and spread the floor. They try to isolate Rowe down the box. He said, fellas, give me the ball. I'm a star tonight. They made me MVP with 5 minutes to go in the game, but we didn't waste time.
Another cut. Rowe got it, but then was stripped by Thurman. Into Williamson, and he scores, and the lead is down to 13 with 3:35 remaining.
Nice inside move by Williamson. Got good deep position, not in the box.
Dingle. Underneath, Camby was fouled. Count the basket.
Camby with that explosive baseline cut without the basketball. Hartford, Connecticut player. They're so excited about his future.
Williamson is fouled out, so he joins back on the bench with 5 fouls, 15 points tonight for Corliss, and 7 rebounds.
Here goes Dingle. And Dingo's going to lay the pass off. Dingle to Camby, and it's jingle time. Bingo, jingle. Mr. Nasty right there, Corliss Williamson. 15 points, 7 rebounds, but tonight he'll be the first to stand tall and say, Louis Rowe got the better of me tonight.
And there's Lou Rowe. They're billing him as a candidate for National Player of the Year honors, the John Wooden Award this season. He was the finalist, one of 16 for that award last year, and he certainly helped his candidacy tonight.
Oh, there's no question he helped his candidacy. They did a great job. Kellogg waving to people up in the stands. Well, let me breathe here. Oh, we better concentrate on a 4.
And Hamby finished off the three-point play. He has 13 points, 11 rebounds, 2 block shots.
And his presence really created havoc inside. There were several times where Williamson was anticipating Camby rotating over for the block shot.
Thurman missed a 3. Padilla. Waiting for help is McDaniel. Also.
Split the trap. Split the trap. It is below Massachusetts.
Padilla to Lou Rowe for the jam. 30 points for Rowe. And the drop in at the other end by Darnell Robinson, the sophomore from Oakland. That's Oakland, California, and his first team All-State. Set the California State record for career scoring. Scored 3,361 points at Emory High School.
Wow. Look at Louis Rowe. Showing he can shoot the face-up jumper. Showing he can post. Showing he can play defense. Showing that he's a winner. Showing that he's a team player. He has done it all. The evaluators from the NBA are getting an eyeful on Lou Rowe tonight.
McDaniel. Coach Richardson says he's getting his shot back on track. We signed him for his shooting. And he's looking for better shooting this year from McDaniel. Getting back to Rowe.
What a defensive player he is as well. McDaniel can really lock people up. We're going to take a look at Padilla right here with the basketball. He's going to split right here and come down the lane, and Rowe's going to rotate over. There it is, the split. Now a little dump down, and Mr. Rowe's going to finalize and complete the play with a little dunk, but that was created by EP. Edgar Padilla. Yes, look, John Calipari. Edgar saying, come on, coach, look, I was great tonight.
Dingle made the first free throw. Rowe with 32 tonight, one shy of his career high set last year.
I think he helped himself in the balloting. If the balloting was tonight, he'd walk out with that trophy.
95 points given up by the Razorbacks. Team that prides itself on tenacious defense. Thurman launching a three. It rattles out to Padilla. Well, down to 2 minutes left.
I wonder what Mike Tirico's thinking back in the studio. Michael, Tirico, baby, it's been showtime out here, Michael. It's been all Massachusetts. It's been all Massachusetts.
And Dingle is fouled. We'll be joining Mike Tirico in a moment. He'll update you on the goings-on at Madison Square Garden, where New Mexico State and Ohio U are about to get underway.
The crowd is going to elevate. I give him a standing O. It's an SRO, standing room only. Look at this. Look at the shirt. UMass refused to lose.
And as they...
Dingle and Padilla. Dingle. Who did a solid job coming off the bench, Dingle. He really did. He gave him some plus minutes. He started last year. That's a big adjustment when you don't start. Your pride is hurt a little bit, but yet he knows that he's an important part of their rotation. The bench is excited.
Fans chanting, we're number one. And you'd have to think they will be in the next poll, given that Arkansas was nearly unanimous selection for number one in the preseason, with all 5 starters returning in their national championship team. UMass has never been ranked number one in the country in college basketball. They're current number 3, ranking the highest in school history. McDaniel and this fight the rebound.
They excelled in every phase tonight. Massachusetts did a dominant job. The one intimidated, came out of the gate, had a game plan, executed it. And most of all, their star responded to the challenge. You know, if Rowe gets dominated early by Corliss Williamson, that becomes contagious. But Rowe immediately attacked Corliss Williamson, took over, established that he was the premier player tonight. But this kid can flat out play, and he's a great, great kid, Corliss Williamson.
I believe they called an intentional foul. They did. So Dingle will go to the line. UMass will get the ball out of bounds after he shoots 2.
Look at Lou Rowe running around with number 1. He's running around number 1. Look at Dante Bright. Give up my case here. I had number 2 that wasn't good enough for my magazine. I mean, unbelievable.
Now, you think these guys be coming out of the game, wouldn't you? These UMass guys, a minute and a half left. Why risk an injury with all those big games you mentioned still to come? Ahead by 20. They may want to get Rowe his new career high with
an ovation instead of a real explosion.
I don't think if he left now, he'd get a stand ovation.
Oh, there's a foul from the back. He's going to pick up some extra points.
Well, if he makes 2, he'll have a career-high 34 points. Puts him to 33 against Holy Cross. And good luck to George Blaney, who has left Holy Cross for the 2 decades to go to Seton Hall and replace P.J. Paralissimo. George Blaney, one of the really nice gentlemen of the game.
Yeah, he really is. And he didn't have the opportunity at Holy Cross in the latter years in terms of scholarship. And now he'll do I think, a solid job at Seton Hall as long as people are patient and understand it's not going to happen overnight.
No, he's not inheriting very much. Picked in the coach's call to finish last, so it's not one to realize the situation George Blaney is stepping into there. New career high, 34 points.
John Calipari has done one of the greatest rebuilding jobs in all of basketball. What he has done at Massachusetts has been absolutely amazing. Think about it, Sean. I mean, you can take any program and talk about them, where they are today, where they were, but the job he did at Massachusetts to bring them from nowhere to be one of the top 10 programs in America has been amazing.
It was definitely one of the bottom 5 programs in the country, and he took it over. But he saw a big school, the variety of programs, the opportunity to attract a wide variety of students with different abilities in the classroom and other factors related to what we spoke of earlier. Bright fouled underneath, and they're going to get Rowe out of the game.
They got a beautiful new facility. They played in Mullins Center. Look at Little all kinds of bumps. He's happy. He's not trying to hot dog. He's a jubilant young man. He's happy. He responded to the challenge. He deserves the hugs, the kisses, the squeezes. And there it is. Calipari says you were special. What great work ethic. Watch him in practice. In fact, I watched him up in practice. I could not believe it. To me, it was like he was trying to make the team. Dante Bright's another kid with superb work ethic.
Andre Burks gets into the final, leading Winston after the
Right. 9 of 11 on the line, 23 points. We've been talking about how bad the program was that John Calipari inherited in the decade of the 80s. The entire decade, they had only 101 wins. They've already surpassed that total here in the 90s, and this is the start of the 94-95 season.
I had people when I was flying in telling me when I said I'm going to do Arkansas versus Massachusetts, #1 against #3, they said, Massachusetts? You can't be serious. I mean, people that don't follow the game closely, Massachusetts certainly is not a real household name in basketball.
Carrot, left alone, he slams it in.
They'll get a few headlines tomorrow across America.
Fans happy as UMass went over 100. They're at 102-80. And on their way to perhaps the first ever #1 ranking in the national poll. Dingle.
David Dingle with that little cut without the basketball.
And Arkansas with little time to regroup for Georgetown.
Final 15 seconds here in Springfield, and the partisan Massachusetts crowd enjoys the final moment.
Wow. All you can simply say, wow. It was a tremendous performance by Lou Rowe and company. Let me just give me five. Lou Rowe, you're super. You did a great job, Lou. What can I say?
Who's #1 now?
Well, he got on me because I picked Corliss Williamson #1.
Coming up next, the championship game of the preseason NIT from MSG in New York. New Mexico State against Ohio U. Now, Sean McDonough and Dick Vitale saying so long from Springfield, where the Massachusetts Minutemen have defeated the Arkansas Razorbacks 104-80. So long, everyone.